It went dead. It's like, oh, all right, you've missed some. You missed the reading. I love phones. They don't always work. I read Matthew or Romans 12, 9 through 21, and I'm pointing out right now some of the phrases that were in Matthew or in Romans that we need to consider each and every day. I also referred to Disney movies and the fact that I love them, and then I had a thing here that says Pixar's 22 rules for storytelling, and number 7 was come up with your ending before you figure out your middle. And I'm thinking if we kept that in mind, the ending, God's given us the ending. God has given us the ending that says for us to treat, well, you got your Matthew verse that says feed the hungry, clothe them, visit those that are needing to be visited because they can't get out. That's the ending. How do we get there? How do we make it a part of our life so it's a priority? That's just some of the things we have to we need to work about. Because if you think about love always, we should be devoted to love, to one another in love, honoring one another above ourselves. And that to me is very easy to do because somewhere along the line I developed that when I was a kid. I look and see what the needs are. What I had to learn as an adult is I can't just fill the need. I have to ask, is it okay for me to do this for you? Because one of the ways to do it is to insult someone by just giving it to them and say, hey, you need this here. They may not see that as a need. Look, I don't see you in a jacket. Here, have a coat. Well, they're very hot-blooded and they don't want a jacket, so they haven't worn it yet. They got a jacket. Why did you think I needed a jacket? Come on, didn't you want to ask me if I needed something before you just hand it over here? Don't you need that? No, I really don't. So it's one thing to see a need and be able to help them out, but you also have to know that they want to have that help. If they don't see it as a need, then you can't help them. You could almost be insulting them. So you have to remember everybody is individual and everything that they need is up to them to decide, not you to decide for them. Because that's insulting. That's putting us above, because even this phrase says don't put yourself above others. You know, live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud. Be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. You know, if it depends as far as you, live in peace with everyone. Don't put yourself above others, because that really is a killer. So when I think about the end, it's like, okay, how do I want to be an example of love, unconditional love for those around me. And that's the end result that I want. Because if I can just stay and be, as John said, God loves me unconditionally, I'm to love those around me. Can I get that to be contagious? And I don't know if I can or not, but that's my goal, is I want to be contagious. I want to be the positive influence on others around me. If that is at all possible. That's my end goal. Because if I do that, then what? I am fulfilling God's request of me to love those around me, to serve them. God says, let's see, share with the Lord's people who are in need, practice hospitality, never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Have you ever got tired? I mean, sometimes like, I keep doing this, it doesn't seem to improve any.
You lose your passion.
You lose your passion for it. I used to paint regularly. I try to paint 2-3 times a week in the evenings to relax. Now I found I haven't painted in months. It's like, wait a minute, how did I lose my passion? This was something relaxing, something I enjoyed. And then, you know, now I've gotten distracted by yard work and other things, and all of a sudden it's not my priority, my passion anymore. How do I get back to it?
The thrill is gone.
The thrill is gone, and I don't want it to be gone. I enjoyed doing that, creating things, sharing with other people. That was fun. So we have to think about that. Because let's face it, folks, we have divorce in this world. We have enemies. We have problems. like in Charlotte, because people aren't loving one another. They're not accepting them where they are. They're saying you be like me or don't be at all. And that's not the right way to be. I honestly can't imagine someone saying they're a neo-Nazi and a Christian. The two do not go together by the definition of God. Because to me, from what I understand about the Nazis, is they had a particular blonde, blue-eyed society they wanted, and were taking out anyone that didn't fit their example or their idea of who was supposed to be. That's why so many people died in gas chambers. They weren't who they wanted them to be. And anybody associated with that, I can't imagine them even thinking about going to a church. Because everybody is supposed to be loved unconditionally no matter who they are. There is no distinction between race, sex, creed, color, jobs. It doesn't matter. Love unconditionally means everyone. No exceptions. So, I still reel about the fact that Charlotte happened, because that was horrible. Yes, everybody has freedom of speech in this country. I have no problem with that. But I do have a problem with the thought that you think you are above everyone else and we should concede to your example and be like you. I want to be like God. That's what God asks of us, to be like God. To love unconditionally, to help feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to give shelter where we can, to visit those at home, locked in, or in a hospital, or wherever they might be. So when it says love always, all the thing I can think to say is, how can I make my end goal love? What do I need to do today to help everyone know that I'm going to love you unconditionally no matter what? We all know one of the ways I do it is wearing what? Tie-dye shirts. Or rainbows. Because I honestly, every Sunday I wear something like this because what? I want everybody to know I accept you no matter what. Full range of color. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Thank God for variety. Can you imagine if we're all the same? It'd be boring as all get out. Tuesday night's meatloaf night. Everybody, the whole U.S. eats meatloaf. I'm sorry. I don't want meatloaf. I want a hamburger. Uh-oh. What happens then?
Only roses.
Like, oh no! So variety is really nice to have. So I guess I just wanted to come forth, especially with we already mentioned North Korea claiming they have a hydrogen bomb ready to go, which just blows your mind. There's so much in this world happening that can cause turmoil or uncertainness. But know God loves you no matter where you are. That God loves you and will provide for you, take care of you. We have hygiene kits we give out 3 to 4 times a year, depending on how the donations are. And we always are able to do it. Always. 475 or something like that, plus we have like 80 or something like set aside for a couple homeless shelters. I mean, we're talking over 500 kits. Again this time. Fabulous. For such a small church as us. This is a thing we can do and we manage to do. We share that love with those around us. So this week, no matter what happens, think about God and how God loves you unconditionally. And then think how you can what? Display unconditional love for those around you. To look out for others' interests. Honor them where they are and see if there's anything you can do to help them where they're at. And just share that love no matter what it is. Amen.